another sort of peculiar turn in your career, back just before Eurovision, when you're still with United Nations, you had success domestically in the UK, but you also had a lot of success out in Europe, out in Eastern Europe. You're spending a lot of time there as a result. You're spending a lot of time in Poland, and well, basically, you become the manager of a Polish football club, don't you, Daz? I mean,
yeah, because
can you tell us a bit about that? How on earth did that happen?
Well, I've been very lucky with the career that I had. When I was a kid, football was my second passion behind DJing. But once I got in my 20s, it became the first. It's like, and I've been watching Stockport for a long, long time. And the beauty of being in a band like Bus Stop is being in Slovakia and Latvia and Estonia and Albania, is that you wouldn't just fly in there because the promoter would fly you in and they would make use of you. In other words, so you'd be there for like 3 or 4 or 5 days doing loads of different shows. But all those shows are at night. So when you're sat in a hotel room on a Friday or a Saturday and you can see floodlights, or you go to the concierge and go, nearest football team, there's always a game. So for all these years, I would go and I would watch how all these teams play. And plus back home, I was managing. Well, I was still playing, but I was sort of, doing, the local team, Sunday league team, 7-a-side teams. I was still active. Just obviously, it needs no commitment. That does it. Was if I was away, I couldn't play. Being an ex-footballer, if you like, okay, I never made it, but understanding how the game is, it's a very, very, very simple game. I'm telling you right now, and it is all played in the mind. I'm going to say something now. You know the difference, what separates me, you, and Ronaldo? The mind. Because you've got 2 arms, you've got 2 legs, you've got 2 feet, right? It's the mind. As simple as that. And that's where football is played. It's got nothing to do with anything else. And when you understand it, and when you've been all over the world and you've seen all this, long story short, yes, you're right. I used to spend 5 days a week in Poland for 2 years because that's where United Nations was the biggest. So rather than flying back in and out, I would just stay there. And just exactly, again, all my managerial steps have all come by pure chance and the fact that I'm English. Simple as that. So I seen the lights, so I'm bored, so I'd go down and it was like, I guess I'm trying to think, the standard would probably be something like maybe Altrincham. Okay? But you have to understand the budget in Polish football then was, the grass growing out the ground, the stadium, just, you can imagine it like an Eastern Bloc thing. It's just ridiculous.
So we're talking non-league standard, basically.
No, it was their 3rd division.
Yeah, no, but if by English terms, kind of.
But yeah. A completely different game. A completely different game, right? So to put it in layman's terms, if any of the Altrincham players came over, they wouldn't look that good in there because the technical side of the Polish game was far superior than ours, particularly at that level, because non-league 20 years ago, was dark arts. And if you know your football, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I goes and there's this team training. I'm just watching them in my tracksuit. And I'm there with my sort of tour manager who could speak Polish. And these guys come over and, because I don't look Polish. I think I had a Stockport County tracksuit, and they're asking, what you're doing there, blah blah blah. And so you get talking, and they asked me to join in. So within 15 minutes, I'm taking over the session because basically it was just so. And they'd never seen anything like this before, and I think it's because I was English, and I think they must have thought I was actually a professional footballer or something because they don't fucking know, do they? They were training Tuesdays and Thursdays, and this was a Tuesday. So I got invited back on the Thursday. So I went back. This time I'd bought boots and stuff. And I turns up and they're all just there waiting for me. I'm thinking, I thought I was just joining in and this, they're talking and all the things. And my guy, my translator said, right, we want you to take the full session. Nothing prepared. So I just basically did it. Anyway, I think they drew that game on the Saturday, and then they sacked the manager and asked me to take over. And I said, well, there's some basically they trained, they were getting paid. They weren't, but most of them are like working in a garage or just like a semi-pro side, you know. And yeah, I think they were third from bottom, and I think when I'd finished with them, we certainly got to the cup final. I think we were third or something like that. Please forgive me because it was all a bit of a blur back then. I know you're thinking, well, of course you remember. No, trust me, I was living a pop star life back then. So a lot of it is a bit, but we did very, very well. And that's what got me the bug. So from there, that's when I started to go and do my badges properly, thinking, do you know what? I'm going to get back into this.
Yeah.
But then
badges,
fucking Eurovision, then Eurovision takes over, and then that's it.
I understand that the club eventually got took over, didn't it? And that led to your departure and return to the UK. And that's when you entered Making Your Mind Up, which at the time was the televised contest that chose the UK's entry for Eurovision in 2006.